Welcome back to the English Grammar course. I am Marion, your English teacher, and I'm excited to be learning again with you today. Last lesson, we started learning about pronouns, and we will be continuing on this journey today with reflexive, reciprocal, relative, demonstrative, interrogative, and indefinite pronouns. These names may sound intimidating, but trust me, you've used them all before. As always, let's start the lesson by reviewing last week's content: personal pronouns and possessive pronouns and adjectives. A pronoun is a word that replaces a noun or noun phrase that has already been mentioned in a text or conversation. Personal pronouns replace the noun or noun phrase that is either the subject or object of a sentence. Personal pronouns generally refer back to them in a conversation or text. The subject personal pronouns are I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. This is my best friend. She is beautiful. The personal pronoun she replaces the noun best friend. The object personal pronouns are me, you, him, her, it, us, you, them, and they replace the object noun of a sentence. For example, look at the beautiful flowers. Sally planted them. Possessive adjectives refer to who or what own a thing and are used in front of a noun they possess. The possessive adjectives are my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. For example, this is my phone. The possessive adjective my indicates that the phone belongs to me. Her father is very tall. The possessive adjective her indicates that that father is her father. Possessive pronouns also refer to who or what owns a thing, but they replace the noun. The possessive pronouns are mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs. This is my phone. It's mine. The possessive pronoun mine refers and replaces the noun phone. It indicates that the phone belongs to me. They have found their seats. Can you see ours? Great. Now it's time to practice. Can you fill in the gap with the correct pronoun? Let's go. I paid for my scarf, so it's mine. This is such a great movie. Have you watched it? Pick any book. The choice is yours. We bought this book together, so it's ours. I love chocolate cake. It's my favorite kind of cake. Great job! We finished with the review. Now let's begin today's lesson with reflexive pronouns. The reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves, and they refer to the person or animal that is the subject of a verb. For example, Jane likes herself in red. The reflexive pronoun herself refers back to Jane. Reflexive pronouns can be used in a sentence in different ways. It can be used as the object of a verb. For example, Joe blames himself for the mistake. Who does Joe blame? Himself. He is both the subject and the object. Reflexive pronouns can also be used as the object of a preposition. Look at yourself. At is a preposition. Yourself is the reflexive pronoun. Reflexive pronouns can also be used as the indirect object of a verb. She helped herself to a sandwich. Finally, the last use of a reflexive pronoun is to emphasize a noun or personal noun. Alex herself baked this amazing pie. All right, time to practice, everyone. Can you fill in the gap with the proper reflexive pronoun? He didn't believe in himself in the end. Himself refers back to he. Don't lie to yourself. You know you won't finish on time. Those brothers are bored. They should find themselves a friend to play with. I made these cookies myself. Good job, everyone. Let's move on to our next type of pronouns. There are only two types of reciprocal pronouns, and they are each other, one another. We use reciprocal pronouns when two or more people do the same thing together. For example, Jessica and Tom sent each other letters. This sentence means that Jessica sent Tom letters and Tom sent Jessica letters. They both did it together. We sent one another flowers. We could indicate 2, 3, 4, or more people. This means that each person sent the others flowers. Everyone sent and everyone received the flowers. Be careful. Make sure not to confuse reciprocal pronouns with possessive pronouns, because they can really change the meaning of a sentence. For example, Ted and Lola talk to each other regularly. This sentence means that Ted talks to Lola and Lola talks to Ted. But in the sentence, Ted and Lola talk to themselves regularly, this sentence means that Ted talks to Ted and Lola talks to Lola. Now let's practice the different uses of reciprocal pronouns and possessive pronouns. Can you choose the correct answer? I play jazz music and she plays rock music for me. We play music for each other. We play music for ourselves. The first sentence is correct. We play music for each other. This means that the speaker, I, plays music for the girl, and the girl plays music for the speaker. Both my sisters have problems with their knees from playing football. They hurt one another playing rugby. They hurt themselves playing rugby. The second sentence is correct. They hurt themselves playing rugby means that both sisters are hurt, but not related to one another. The first sentence, they hurt one another playing rugby, means that one sister hurt the other and vice versa. Good job! Now let's move on to our next category, demonstrative pronouns. A demonstrative pronoun refers to a specific thing to indicate whether it is close or far in space and or time. There are 4 demonstrative pronouns: this, that, these, those. To indicate one or more things near in distance or time, we use the pronouns this and these. To indicate one or more things that are far in distance or time, we use the pronouns that and those. All 4 of these demonstrative pronouns can be used before a noun or instead of a noun. For example, that was the last time I heard that song. All right, your turn. Can you fill in the gaps? Look at my hand. What's this? The speaker's hand is close to their body. Therefore, we use the singular demonstrative pronoun this. That happened a long time ago. A long time ago indicates that the action was far in time, far in the past. Therefore, we use the singular demonstrative pronoun that. Great one. Now time for relative pronouns. We use relative pronouns to introduce relative clauses, which is simply a sentence used to clarify or add information about who or what we are talking about. The relative pronouns are who, whom, whose, which, that. We use the relative pronouns who and whom for people, whose to indicate ownership, which for things, and the word that for both people and things. In American English, it is more common to use that for things. People rarely use which, whereas in British English, people still use both which and that. For example, Marie Curie is the woman who discovered radium. The relative clause who discovered radium gives more information about the woman Marie Curie. I'm reading Wild, which is my favorite book, for the third time. The relative clause, which is my favorite book, gives more information about the book Wild. Notice how the relative clause is in the middle of the sentence and is therefore placed between two commas. Now it's time for practice. Can you fill in the gaps with the correct relative pronoun? Economics is a subject that I've never understood. Isaac Newton is the man who discovered gravity. I want a computer that is fast. Great job. Now, let's move on to interrogative pronouns. The interrogative pronouns are who, what, where, whom, which, whose. Notice how they are very similar to relative pronouns. We just use them differently, as we use interrogative pronouns to ask questions, and therefore use them at the beginning of a question. These interrogative pronouns refer to a person, place, time, information, or thing that we don't know. For example, who is that girl you were with? Who indicates a person that we don't know. Which shoes should I wear tonight? Which refers to a thing that we don't know. Be careful not to confuse whose and whose. Notice that they have the same pronunciation but are spelt differently. Whose, W-H-O apostrophe S, means who is. It's a contraction. We will be learning more about contractions in Chapter 3 of this course. Whose, W-H-O-S-E, is a possessive pronoun. All right, practice time. Can you guess which sentence is correct? Where is the name of that movie you love? What is the name of that movie you love? The second question is correct. A movie is a thing. Therefore, we are asking with the interrogative pronoun what. Whose book is that? Who book is that? The first question is correct. We are referring to the ownership of the book. Therefore, we need a possessive interrogative pronoun. Fantastic! Finally, it's time for one last category of pronouns. These are indefinite pronouns. They are used to refer to non-specific people or things. To speak about all non-specific people or things, we use everyone, everybody, everywhere, everything. To speak about a non-positive person, place, or thing in a positive sentence, we use someone, somebody, somewhere, something. To speak about a non-specific person, place, or thing in a negative sentence, we use anyone, anybody, anywhere, anything. To speak about a zero quantity of non-specific people, places, or things, we use no one, nobody, nowhere, or nothing. For example, I didn't see anyone famous in New York. We are talking about a non-specific person in a negative sentence construction, as indicated by did not or didn't. Therefore, we use anyone. Practice time. Can you fill in the gaps? Someone climbed Mount Everest last month. I won't tell your secret to anyone. I want to go on holiday somewhere warm. She has no friends. No one likes her. Excellent work. Now it's time for review before successfully ending this lesson. The reflexive pronouns are myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, themselves, and they refer to the person or animal that is the subject of the verb. Reciprocal pronouns are each other, one another. We use each other when two people do the same thing, and one another when two or more people do the same thing. Be careful not to confuse reciprocal pronouns and plural reflexive pronouns. A demonstrative pronoun refers to a specific thing to indicate whether it is close or far in space and or time. This and these refer to things that are close, and that and those indicate things that are far in distance or time. The relative pronouns are who, whom, whose, which, that, and they introduce relative clauses to add information about a sentence. We use the relative pronouns who and whom for people, whose for ownership, which for things, and that for people or things. That is more commonly used for things than which. The interrogative pronouns are who, what, where, whom, which, whose. They refer to a person, place, time, information, or thing we don't know. We use them at the beginning of a question. The indefinite pronouns are somewhere, someone, anyone, no one, nobody, etc. They are used to refer to non-specific people or things. Great work today! You are a master of pronouns now. Next lesson, we will begin learning about adjectives. See you then!